So you've got a business idea cooking for the Sunshine State? That's awesome. You are in exactly the right place. We're about to walk through a super clear, simple guide to forming your Florida LLC and making that dream a reality. Seriously, it's such an exciting time. But let's be real, that first official step, the whole forming a company thing, it can feel a little intimidating. The good news? It really doesn't have to be. We're going to break it all down for you. All right, so here's the game plan. We're going to walk through everything step by step. First, we'll cover the basics of just getting started. Then we'll dive into the legal foundation. After that, we'll talk about building out your business structure, keeping everything in good standing, and finally, get you on the path to launch. So let's think of this as a journey, right? A series of clear, manageable steps, not some giant, scary mountain to climb. This is your guided tour to becoming a business owner. Let's get started.
Okay, first things first, we have to lay down that legal foundation. This is all about giving your company its core identity. And we'll do that by tackling 3 key things: picking a name, getting an agent, and of course, filing the official paperwork. So, step 1, you've got to give your business a name. And, this is more than just about branding. It's a legal thing, and it has to follow some specific state rules to get that green light.
Okay, so what are the rules? Well, your name has to include limited liability company or just LLC or LLC. Super important. It also has to be totally unique in Florida's records. So your very first move should be to jump on the SunBiz database and search for it. You don't want to get rejected just because someone else has a similar name. And here's a big one. The state does not check for trademark issues. That's all on you to research, so make sure you do your homework.
Once you've got that perfect name picked out, your next big step is to designate a registered agent. This is an absolute must-have for every single LLC in Florida.
So what in the world is a registered agent? Think of it as your company's official point of contact. They're the one who receives any legal notices or mail from the government. The key thing here is they have to have a real physical street address in Florida, no P.O. boxes. This makes sure those super important documents always have a safe place to land.
All right, this is the big one, the main event. Step 3 is filing your articles of organization with the Florida Division of Corporations. This is literally the moment your LLC officially becomes real.
Think of this document as your business's birth certificate. Seriously, once it's filed and the state gives it the thumbs up, your limited liability company legally exists. It's official.
And what's it going to cost you to make it official? Well, the minimum required fee you're looking at to file in Florida is $125.
So where does that $125 actually go? Well, $100 of it is for the articles of organization themselves, and the other $25 is for designating your registered agent. Now, as you can see, there are also a couple of optional extras you can grab, like a certified copy for your records or a certificate of status.
Okay, so your LLC is legally formed. Awesome. Now it's time to actually build out its internal structure, the financial side of things. This next part is all about creating agreements, getting your tax ID, and setting up your money stuff. Next up, creating an operating agreement. Now, listen, this is a super important internal document. You don't actually file it with the state, but you really, really don't want to skip this step. It's crucial for the health of your business. So what is it? The operating agreement is basically the rule book for how your LLC is going to run. It spells out everything: who owns what percentage, who's in charge of what, and how the money gets handled. And hey, even if it's just you, a single member LLC, you should still have one. A lot of banks will ask to see it when you go to open a business account.
This document is where you define all the nitty-gritty stuff up front. Things like ownership percentages, management roles, how profits and losses get divvied up, and even what happens if someone wants to leave the company. A good agreement now can save you from huge headaches later, and it's a key part of protecting that limited liability status you wanted in the first place.
All right, with your internal rules all set, the next step is getting your business on the federal government's radar. And you do that by getting an employer identification number, or what's called an EIN. An EIN is basically a social security number, but for your business. You're going to need it for pretty much any financial activity. I'm talking opening a business bank account, hiring employees, filing your federal taxes, all of it. The great news is you can apply for one for free directly on the IRS website. Okay, you've got your formation docs, you've got your EIN. Now, it is absolutely critical that you open a separate, dedicated bank account for your business. Do not skip this. Mixing your personal and business funds is one of the quickest ways to lose that limited liability protection. Keeping everything separate is how you prove your business is its own legal entity, and it's what protects your personal assets if something goes wrong. Okay, So your LLC is formed and structured. That's a huge milestone, but the work isn't quite over. Now we need to talk about how you keep your business compliant and in good standing with the state year after year.
Every single Florida LLC owner needs to burn these dates into their brain. Every year, you have to file an annual report. The window to do that opens on January 1st, and the big deadline is May 1st. Now, if you miss it, you do have a final last chance deadline in September, but you really don't want it to get to that.
The standard fee, if you file on time, is $138.75. Just think of it as a predictable cost of doing business in Florida.
And this is why you absolutely do not want to miss that May 1st deadline. If you're late, the state slaps on a $400 late fee. Ouch! That's a painful penalty that nobody wants to pay. So there you have it. We've walked through all the steps to do it yourself. But what if you'd rather have an expert handle all this stuff for you so you could just focus on, running your business?
Look, if you've gone through all these steps and you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, which is totally normal, by the way, or if you'd just rather spend your time on your actual business instead of paperwork, you've got options.
And a really great option is Rocket Registry. Their team can literally handle this whole formation process for you from start to finish. It lets you focus on what you do best. You can just visit them at rocketregistry.com to get started.
And that's it. That's our guide. You now have the complete blueprint for launching your Florida LLC. So really, the only question left is, what amazing thing are you going to build with it?